possible negative impacts. Let's have a look at what the Italian Prime Minister had to say.
La base di dazi al 15%, se ricomprende i dazi precedenti che in media erano intorno al 5%, 4,8%, differentemente da quello che prevedeva un possibile accordo al 10% che sommava i dazi precedenti, secondo me è una base sostenibile, dopodiché ovviamente bisogna andare nei dettagli. Bisognerà lavorare ancora sull'accordo perché quello che è stato sottoscritto ieri è un accordo giuridicamente non vincolante di massima, quindi nei dettagli su alcune cose bisogna ancora andare, quindi c'è ancora, diciamo così, da battersi e all'esito di questo lavoro bisognerà anche a livello nazionale, a livello europeo, lavorare per aiutare quei settori che dovessero essere particolarmente, diciamo, coinvolti, ecco, da questa decisione.
We're now joined by Andrew KP Lung, who's a China strategist. He joins us live from London to discuss our top story in further detail. Andrew, having a look at this framework for this deal, it says a 15% baseline tariff, 0 for 0 tariffs on strategic sectors, including aircraft components, certain chemicals, generic pharmaceuticals, and also some commitments to investment from the EU into the US. That's $750 billion in US energy products over several years. Viktor Orban says that Donald Trump ate Ursula von der Leyen, the EU Commission chief, for breakfast. What are your thoughts on that statement and on this deal?
And it really seems that the European Union has found itself in a dire strait because the Trump tariffs are rocking the global supply and value chain, but also cause almost irreparable damage to the already stretched European Union economies. As jobs are lost and production is halted, and there's a rising tide also of public anger of the kind of struggling economies. Not least, of course, is the continuing war in Ukraine. And then they're fearful that the Americans' military backing is no longer proving to be reliable. So all these factors combined into a kind of hidden panic, if you like, in the European capitals that they want to deal badly. And if you look at the deal itself, it's all for catering for Americans' interests. I mean, a flat tariff of 15%, and also the huge investments of the European Union countries in America. So it seems that Trump is getting a lot of what he wants, and what the European Union gets is only a scaling back some of the verbal tariffs, because tariffs is just, it's a kind of verbal threat, and it costs American nothing practically at the beginning. So I think, look at it all, the European Union is struggling to find a deal, and it seems that it just want to deliver this as some kind of pause, in fact, in the Americans' confrontation with the European Union. But that's not going to end well in the long term, because Trump is not going to be relaxed in its American first policy towards any country, in fact, allies included.
Yes, indeed, Andrew. The European Union is a bloc of 27 countries, and also the day after that this deal has been struck, negative reactions are coming in. What's the next move? Obviously, there was a huge scramble for there to be a deal signed on time by Ursula von der Leyen, the EU chief. How do we see opposition from those 27 countries going, and who will it affect in a negative way more than others?
I think there are two dynamics here. First, as you pointed out, there are a few European Union countries who are traditionally more sort of resistant against American pressure, including, for example, Viktor Orban and a few other European countries. But then I think that the two big players, Germany and France, and Italy and Spain, they also want to have at least a temporary pause, if you like, in continuing escalation of confrontation with the United States. I think the next move, of course, is for the European Union to try to seek other avenues for growth and to balance its economy. Not least, of course, is an overture towards China, for instance, and of course other countries in the Global South. But while this is going on, it will take time. It's not just that the European countries are all want to embrace China because of a lot of deep-seated differences, including ideological and also economic and trade. But on the other hand, we're seeing a recalibration of relationship, the transatlantic relationship, which has lasted for so long since the Second World War, is subject to pressure, subject to challenge. So I think that the European Union leaders are trying to seek a way out, trying to stabilize the relationship with the United States in the first instance, trying to deal with the war in Ukraine. It's now more united, trying to prop up Ukraine defenses, and in a way causing a recalibration of Trump's strategy towards Russia. But I don't think that will be the end game. So a lot of obstacles along the way, and Ukraine remains a huge challenge to the sense of security, and that also divides a number of European Union countries.
Yes, Andrew, do stay with us as we talk more tariffs. Moving on, China has said that it is seeking